communities.
Because I just wasn't a supporter. And that's because I went on their site, I saw their mission statement, and there was no mention of black men, no mention of black boys, and really a drive to move away just from regular family structures or traditional family structures. And so, like I said, I was called all types of names for that. But then we see today, we have mothers like Tamir Rice's mother and other mothers who are victims, their children are victims of police violence, now coming out saying that Black Lives Matter used them for paydays. And I just want to get your thoughts on that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think Breonna Taylor's mother just came out recently as well, didn't she?
In Kentucky, yes, she did.
Yeah. So, listen, I didn't support Black Lives Matter from the beginning because they excluded poor people. I think as academics, there's a lot of pressure to fall in line. There's kind of this mob mentality. And I think that when Black Lives Matter started, the idea was that every black person, every black scholar had to fall in line, right? It was a popular movement. It was being supported by the Democratic Party. So that's, people were publishing books, and it was a quick fix, places like Oxford and, all the big presses wanted to publish books on Black Lives Matter because it was popular. And, it was a way to get a reputable press to look at some black issues. The problem was that none of these books were critical, right? All these books were celebrating BLM. They were celebrating that it was intersectional movement. They were celebrating that it was black female leadership. And none of them asked the very basic questions that you would ask of any political party. Does the leadership of BLM or the BLM organization accurately represent the issues and concerns of the population it claims to represent, which are poor, working class black people who are victims of police violence? The answer is no. Does BLM actually try to ameliorate or deal with any of the issues that affect the majority of the population it claims to represent, which would be poor black men who are overwhelmingly killed by police? The answer is no. But does it center some marginalized voices from black, queer, and trans bodies? The answer there is yes. And if that's what you support as part of your liberal democratic agenda, then you think that BLM is a success. If you look at the people who are the majority of the victims, which are poor, working class black men and women, then the answer is overwhelmingly no. And I was on the side of no, because I wanted to understand, how do you get the corporatization and the proliferation of BLM messages where people like DeRay was giving, for a while I think he was putting up McDonald's sponsors, on his Twitter page as them supporting the movement. This is big corporatist endorsement and sponsorship. This does not help poor black people who are dying. So what you had was an incentive structure that I think people are becoming more comfortable talking about now, right? That says that, look, we've hand-selected or hand-picked these black women to be the leaders or the face of a movement, even though they don't help black men who are the majority of the people being killed. But let's give them deals with Cadillac, Warner Brothers. Let's buy $1 million homes. Yep. So what you've seen, and this is what you see for the first time in history, are black political leaders, right, in the middle of a civil rights movement where people are being shot and killed, becoming rich off of the blood and the deaths of the people they claim to represent. Now, remember, this is this reality that we're now deciding to talk about. I wrote an article about this a year and a half ago, but this reality that we're just deciding to talk about now, which is this kind of capitalist and corporate structure of BLM, that exports poor black people, specifically poor dead black men, is in contrast to the civil rights movement that we're taught we should reject because black men led it. So think about it. In the 1960s and 70s, the idea was that Black Power, SCLC, and the other civil rights movements were patriarchal, right? And what we mean by that is these black men pursued civil rights leadership and initiatives because they wanted power like white men. All these black men were practically dead. Malcolm X was shot, King was shot, Medgar Evers was shot. All the Black Panthers were in exile or killed. So their reward for trying to allegedly be patriarchs was death. In this world, right, in the 21st century, the intersectional kind of leadership is rewarded with multi-million-dollar contracts, homes in exclusive white neighborhoods, and endorsement from corporate sponsors like McDonald's, Cadillac, etc. So if we're actually analyzing questions of power, how is it that you have a movement that's supposed to be anti-state, anti-establishment, and nonviolent, arguing for peace and taking on the voices and the issues that poor black people, poor black men specifically suffer, becoming richer, where the people who fought for the liberation, destruction, segregation, police state all ended up dead? You see, this is what I mean when I talk about the lack of critical thinking and the dominance of ideology. You call BLM an intersectional movement of ideas that are automatically successful, but we haven't seen any decrease of black male death over the last, 5 or 6 years. The data goes back to 2013 or 2015. I think if you look at the fatal force data from Washington Post, 6, 7 years, you haven't seen a decrease of black male death in the United States. So how then is the movement a success? You've seen people become richer, but none of those people are even black men. Right. And even if when you look at DeRay is not giving you a radical message. DeRay is not working with, poor populations. There's not a celebration of DeRay by poor black people or in Ferguson, et cetera, still dealing with police violence. So the poor black people that are actually enduring the violence, the murder, the hatred that white supremacist societies are imposing on them are completely erased. And then white liberals are celebrating these caricatures of black life because these are palatable representations of what black men and women could be. And you asked a very simple question. If you empathize with the black struggle, why do you need the Cadillac Warner Brothers version of the black struggle instead of the black people who are in fact the wretched of the earth, suffering, dying in the poorest and most police
I totally agree
and
with
project
you.
areas of the United States? You see, the reality of the situation is the people that we're saying representatives in BLM wouldn't dare step foot in many of the places and neighborhoods that they claim that they represent.
Right,
That
right.
is a problem because it shows that there's not effective governance of the organization such that it actually represents the interest and the agendas of the people that it claims that it's trying to save. So white people are now suddenly endorsing middle class or socially mobile black folks that are tokens for their agendas rather than the black people who we see every day dying. Why is it that there are no black men from working class neighborhoods in the southern, United States that are put on the forefront of what these agendas are?
Right.
What are the criticisms, the debates about BLM and whether or not it's actually representing poor black people, specifically black men? Why is there not a discussion about the specific risks of black men and boys to police killings when they're 96, 97% of the victims? These are all failures of the ideology, the structure, and the analysis of BLM. But overwhelmingly, if you look at black academics, there's a celebration of the movement because it's feminist, intersectional, and led by black queer women. So that anybody who disagrees with BLM, its message, or the way it's been doing its job, are automatically labeled misogynist, sexist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It's true. That's
There
true.
are ways to avoid
Preach.
debate rather than engage the seriousness of black life within these kinds of political organizations.
Exactly.
Their job.
Dr. Curry, before I pass to Friday, because we got to wrap it up, I just want to say, you're one of the black men I look up to most. The Man Not should be required reading for all black men because it allows you to kind of get this life that kind of beats you up and you don't have an understanding of why it beats you up. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that. And I'm going to pass to Friday so she can wrap us up.
Yeah. So you have given us like a wide range of things to think about and thought. We would love to have you back again because I think that this is an ongoing conversation. And as we move to build up Black men and the Black family, particularly through our political efforts, I think that you are like a go-to person when we try to sort of work some of these mental exercises out and we work out what's happening with current governance. Where can people find you? I know where to find you on Twitter, but if you could give your social media so people can keep up with you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can give me on Twitter at DRTJC. It gets a little wild on there sometimes, so it can't be for the faint of heart. I don't understand Twitter. These people are just angry. They don't eat their Wheaties in the morning. Need a hug. Or you catch me on Facebook, Dr. Tommy J. Curry. I have a professional page up there, so I'm pretty active on social media.
Thank you so much for your time. I know Edinburgh, I don't know what the time difference is, but I know it's a big one. So thank you so much for making time for us.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much. For our listening audience, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For our listening audience, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to come back with Slauson Girl. She gives us news from South LA, and we're going to talk about some of the elections coming up.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to share this other YouTuber who I love. This is Friday this group, NAASD LA. They're a wonderful group of people who I've watched evolve and grow, and I think that are just fabulous leaders within our Black community. There's a lot going on in the world when we think about the Black man and the Black family and the emasculated Black men in this country. And the problem that we're having is people are waking up that Black Lives Matter don't matter about Black lives. They don't care about Black families. And like I said before, we have to pivot the message of Black Lives Matter to Black families, to Black men, Afrocentric Black men, because the government and church will always tag us with the gay, lesbians, transgender, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K people. And we are losing our sense of identity and sense of self. You know, things that just get on my nerves. I was interested. I watched the Food Network and I love watching these food channels, but we have gotten away from American cuisine, American cooking. No one understands that the Blacks in this country were the original cooks in this country, the foundation builders in this country. The Blacks in this country invented things. The Blacks in this country owned properties and were trying to identify our own movements in this country, but we're always disrupted. We're always interacted. We're always being pivoted. And I'm so proud of that next generation that's coming after me, because the one before me wouldn't let me do anything. And the one that's my age are just so blindsided to the fact that we're being suppressed and taken out. So yeah, it's crazy out there. I want to show you something else right now. There's some really strange things going on in Los Angeles, and the homelessness thing is real. It's the homeless on the street are real. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know I've been posting crazy videos of myself. It ain't really me. It's just the face-off thing. Let's see, a street. She posted this video, and it's really just stunned my heart. I want you to realize that, you know, Black people don't have nowhere to go to the bathroom, and it's really real. Let's see if this is this. Okay, I want you to watch this video, and they show Black people who are homeless how to go to the bathroom if you ain't got a space. And that's not nasty. It won't be a disgusting scene, but I just want you to see how they're telling us that they won't provide toilets for us in California. So when you hear these social media people tell you California is great and Black people are la la la, no, we're hurting. We're hurting right now. So anyway, now watch this video.
We give you some cat litter, you sprinkle a little bit of cat litter inside of there because it'll help with the smell. You put the lid on top of that. Snap it. Lift up. You have a toilet. When you're done using it, close it down, take the lid off, and the city won't even know it's a toilet because it looks like a bucket. Take the bag out, roll the bag back inside of that, ziplock it up, and you can throw it away hygienically. It comes with 3 bags, and we will continue to bring refills for you guys, okay? I'll just deflate that because we're going to start again down there. Okay? So we have about 12 of these today. Now, mind you, we have a lot of these. Our supporters on social media purchased a lot. We didn't bring a lot today, but we got the first 12 today for those and the first 15 today for these. And we'll bring them every single week from now on. Okay? Eggs. You put the...
So I want you to understand what video you're seeing. We are watching, let me reduce this. Oh, I love the sister. This is Sister Shirley. She is on Instagram, Beauty to the Street. She does haircuts and she makes these people look so beautiful. Hold on a second. I'm going to tag out just for a hot second. I'm going to change the screen. So I'm going to give you information where you guys can follow her and support her, because she's doing stuff everybody else can't do. Okay? None of y'all willing to go down there. None of y'all willing to give any money. Nobody's willing to really step into place for this sister. And she's I've talked with her. I've seen her in action. She is phenomenal. She's phenomenal. And right now, Black people have nowhere to go to the bathroom, in the streets of LA. And so it is important that we support other groups of things, of people that if we can't do it, then somebody else can do it, then let's support them. For those who are just chiming in, we had talked to another group that just exposed, you know, Black men are not being treated right in this country, as we already know. and that our voices are becoming united on different fronts. This is the homeless
bag
front
inside
line.
the bucket. We give you some cat litter. You sprinkle a little bit of cat litter inside of there because it'll help with the smell. You put the lid on top of that. Snap it. Lift up. You have a toilet. When you're done using it, close it down, take the lid off, and the city won't even know it's a toilet because it looks like a bucket. Take the bag out, roll the bag back inside of that, ziplock it up, and you can throw it away hygienically. It comes with 3 bags, and we will continue to bring refills for you guys, okay? Deflate that because we're going to start again down there. Okay? So we have about 12 of these today. Now, mind you, we have a lot of these. Our supporters on social media purchased a lot. We didn't bring a lot today, but we got first 12 today for those and the first 15 today for these. And we'll bring them every single week from now on. Okay? Bags. You put the bag in.
So, this is what's going on in California. We're still dealing with the homelessness. We're still dealing with poverty. We're still dealing with 5.5% Blacks who are suppressed in this country. But we need to have a plan of action. So I want to encourage you, those particular groups that I just showed you, NAASDAL.org, please support them. And also Beauty to the Streets on Instagram. Her name is Shirley, like my name. And she has just been such a fabulous person. I really want to encourage you guys to really follow her. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Hi, Shirley. I finally caught you live post. Hey, girl, I'm in Facebook jail. Dun-dun-dun. Until May 1st. I really don't care about them devils. Lisa, tell me about it. Girl, they put me in they incarcerated me and threw the key away on Twitter. They took me off Twitter. So I'm not playing with these people on social media. Either follow me or don't. If they don't let us have our voice, somebody else will rise. That's why I'm not worried. God is so good. If we're not there, Lisa, somebody else is bringing it to our attention. Lucky, can you believe that cat litter? What the F, right? So now they don't provide toilets, so we got to use cat litter to clean ourselves. That's just some cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. How did we get here? Old people that don't give a damn about the next generation. That's how we got here. How black women are shot by cops. The constant, we keep getting shot. For one extreme, it generates another extreme. So I always think that, you're one extreme, you're getting ready to generate another extreme. Who will those extremes be? I do not know. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for walking. And just ask Char, I saw you were in first and I greeted you and I'm so grateful. This is a family effort. A family effort means that we all have to get out there and show love to one another, acknowledge one another, and bring attention to what is going on in our community. If I see something new that comes up, I think you should pay attention. I'm still going to talk about finances once in a while. Please take the time to watch that last video. I apologize. I didn't realize it was 3 hours. I'm like, oh my God. But I really had a lot of great information in the last video before this video. So take the time, play it while you're cleaning, working, watching TV, or whatever you're doing, driving in your car. And take some notes if you can, mental notes, and then you can go back to the time frames of notes that you like. Please make a comment on every video to tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you think we can do better. Otherwise, I'm enjoying the moment of living and loving life and watching everyone in our community grow from every aspect. Everyone in our community who has a voice to be able to project it and say it and love it. So peace, keep in touch, and I'll talk to you guys soon.